Week 4 Basic Fitting continued. In this week, we will learn about the following topics: marking off and layout tools, dividers, scribing block, description, classification, material, care and maintenance, Trisquare, ordinary depth gauge, protractor description, uses and cares. Uses, care and maintenance of cold chisels, materials, types, cutting angles. Surface gauges. The surface gauge is one of the most common marking tools used for scribing lines parallel to a datum surface, setting jobs on machines parallel to a datum surface, checking the height and parallelism of jobs, setting jobs concentric to the machine spindle. Types of surface gauges. Surface gauges, scribing blocks, are of two types: fixed and universal. Surface gauge, fixed type. The fixed type of surface gauge consists of a heavy flat base and a spindle, fixed upright, to which a scriber is attached with a snug and a clamp nut. Universal surface gauge. This has the following additional features. The spindle can be set to any position. Fine adjustment can be made quickly. Can also be used on cylindrical surfaces. Dividers. Dividers are used for scribing circles, arcs, and for transferring and stepping off distances. Dividers are available with a firm joint and spring joints. The measurements are set on the dividers with a steel rule. The sizes of dividers range between 50 mm to 200 mm. Trisquare. The trisquare is an instrument which is used to check squareness of a surface. The trisquare has a blade with parallel surfaces. The blade is fixed to the stock at 90 degrees. Trisquares are made of hardened steel. Trisquares are specified according to the length of the blade, that is 100 mm, 150 mm, 200 mm. Uses of trisquare. The uses of trisquare are to check the squareness, check the flatness, mark lines at 90 degrees to the edges of workpieces, set workpieces at right angles. Ordinary depth gauge. Ordinary depth gauge is semi-precision instrument used for measuring of depth of recesses, slots and steps. Parts of ordinary depth gauge: graduated beam, clamping screw, scale, base. Available in the ranges of 0 to 200 mm. Ordinary depth gauge is used to measure an accuracy of 0.5 mm. Cold chisel. The cold chisel is a hand cutting tool used by fitters for chipping and cutting of operations. Chipping is an operation of removing excess metal with the help of a chisel and hammer. Chipped surfaces being rough, they should be finished by filing. Parts of a chisel. A chisel has the following parts: head, body, point. Common types of chisels are flat chisel, cross-cut chisel, half round nose chisel, diamond chisel, web chisel. Flat chisels. They are used to remove metal from large flat surfaces and chip off excess metal of welded joints and castings. Cross-cut or cape chisels. These are used for cutting keyways, grooves, and slots. Half round nose chisels. They are used for cutting curved grooves. Diamond point chisels. They are used for squaring materials at the corners, joints. Web chisels, punching chisels. These chisels are used for separating metals after chain drilling. Chisels are specified according to their length, width of the cutting edge, type, cross section of the body. Sharpening of the chisels. Chisels will become blunt due to use. For efficiency in chipping, the chisels are to be resharpened regularly. Chisels are sharpened on grinding machines. While grinding, rest of the body of the chisel on the tool rest and allow point to touch the wheel. Rock the point slightly on both sides in an arc to provide a slight convexity of the cutting edge. This will help to avoid digging in the sides while chipping. Keep moving the chisel across the face to prevent formation of curves and grooves at the cutting edge. Now we come to the end of week 4. See you again for a new topic in week 5.